You're tuned in to My 95.1 Sports Zone, the podcast for students by students. We're bringing you the latest highlights, hot takes, and behind-the-scenes stories from all things sports right here from the Killeen ISD Career Center. From Friday Night Lights to buzzer beaters and everything in between. If it's KISD Sports, we're talking about it. Let's dive in. I believe we're going to start with Shoemaker and Midway. David, take it away.
Game of the week. Not very much defense was played in this game from both sides, in my opinion. Final score is 66-47, man. It was a tight game in the first quarter. The end of the first quarter score was 13-10. I thought we was in for a good ball game. And then Midway ran off of it in the last 2 minutes of the half. Shoemaker has the ball around their own 20-something. Brandon Brown Jr. fumbles. Midway gets the ball back. They score. And then previously, Midway was already on the score before that. So they're on a 14-0 run. Brandon Brown Jr. fumbles the option on the kickoff return. He fumbles. Midway gets the ball back again, and they throw a jump ball, and they score again. So 21 unanswered points going into halftime is what really decided the game. And then Shoemaker really did fight. Their offense kept them trying the game. Defense couldn't string enough stops to get it in, and that's why the final score was what it was.
21 unanswered points. You just can't have that on any game. That's unacceptable.
That's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
But it happens. It was just a rough game. Listen, Midway is a really good team. So, I mean, it's not surprising, that they, scored, some points like that. They're a really talented team, well-coached team. But that's just, like you said, that's unacceptable. 21 unanswered points and then fumbling, especially when you was going to run away with the game, and then they score 14 unanswered. So you gotta find a way to respond, and then just for a fumble like that, that's just, to me, I think it's just a mental mistake that's gonna be killing teams.
And that's because when you're playing a team as good as Midway, they're going to score. You're not going to be able to stop them consecutively over. They're going to score. So when they're going to score, you have to make sure when you have the possession, you're able to score too with them. Turnovers, that's going to kill you. Especially, I think that's what did it for Shoemaker was the turnovers.
Yep.
Can't have that.
And they punted early in the first quarter. So Midway was already kind of winning the back and forth possession battle. But listen, Midway's that was a big time game for them.
They needed that.
They needed that win. So I definitely kind of expected that going in. They were going to give everything they got because now they got another big one this week, bro.
I tried to tell you, Midway. Listen, we all picked Shoe to win, but I said I wouldn't be surprised if Midway wins because they're a really well coached team, and if they lost that game, they were going to be practically eliminated from probably getting
winning the district.
Yeah, winning district. That was going to hurt them. So I said, especially them coming off of a loss. I don't want to say they were going to be desperate, but they were going to give it their all.
Yep. And now they got the tiebreaker with Shoemaker for district. So if it ends up being them two, they'll take it.
They'll take Yep. And then they got Cove.
Cove has sneakily been
really
4-1.
Yeah.
Yep.
2-0 in district so far. There's Heights 6A12 district standing so far. Harker Heights number 1 at 2-0 in conference. Cove at number 2, Midway at 3, Shoemaker at 4, Temple at 5, Bryan at 6, and Killeen at 7.
It really sucks though, like when you look at the standings, because this could be vastly different. Like Cove, when they lost to Killeen, Killeen could be 1-1 right now, and Cove could be 1-1 right now. Like this, that's very
critical mistakes in one game can blow up your whole season.
Switch this whole standings around. Yep.
Heights as well on a good part for them. Like the way the district works, like you lose games before, but it don't matter. Once you get in the district, that's when the real games are.
Listen, Heights is on. They're on a 3-peat right now. They're looking for 4 this year. Will someone be able to stop them? Is the question.
I don't know. Maybe a little game in late October. We'll find out.
We'll see. We'll talk about them later. For now, let's move on to Ellison. They didn't play a game last week,
but we can talk about that.
They had a bye week, but next week they're gonna play Belton.
Oh, this week. This week.
Oh, apologies. Yeah, this week they're gonna play Belton.
Away game, Belton. They only got 2 high schools up there for real, and they're gonna pack that stadium out. This is a big time thing for Ellison. I'm pretty sure they won district last year, if I'm not mistaken. This is a big test for them. Belton's probably, in my opinion, the 3rd best team in that district, and Ellison and University are really battling for that number 1 spot. So this is a big test for them coming out of district, man.
Yep. We'll see. Ellison got some good players in their team. They got obviously Marlon Smith is gonna try his best to get up there. They still got that great receiving core.
Yeah, I think this is a matchup where because I was looking at something earlier about Belton, and Their defense is not horrible, but it's a little suspect. And I think if with Ellison has the talent to exploit their weaknesses, and if they can do that, they'll be in great shape to win this game. Especially with Marlon Smith, who is he's sensational. Like he is. I mean, he's just sensational.
Yep.
This guy gives it
Remember
his all.
You said future Heisman winner.
Future Heisman, man. That's what he is.
Yep. Hey, I could definitely see it. Hey, I've called a lot of his games, and that boy got talent.
You seen it in person. That's what I'm saying. You seen it in person.
You've seen the way he throws, the dual threat ability. He's great. But moving on. Chaparral and Georgetown. I'm just gonna hand this one off to Brandon. Like, I'm the quarterback. I'm gonna give it to Brandon.
Listen, man. Listen, guys. Listen. I know. I've always been the guy, being optimistic about them. But hey, last Thursday night was just not a great night. But hey, they ran into a really great, well-coached team.
Georgetown's been running it for years, man.
Yeah, like they're for real. Jet Walker was amazing for Georgetown. He was just,
crazy.
Left and right. He was just running up and down the field. I was like, oh my gosh. But but hey, it's a great team, so it's not the worst thing to ever happen. It's a really great team.
And it's not just Jet Walker,
it's
right?
Not just
they got one of their receivers, I believe, was committed to.
Yeah, he runs a 4-3. One of the receivers come 4-3. Yeah,
but he was committed to somewhere. One of their old linemen was committed to Stanford, and obviously Jet Walker's committed to I think it was West Virginia.
And let's be real, their quarterback was actually really good. I think people talk about Jet Walker too much, but their quarterback is actually really good. He had 4 passing touchdowns. He did throw an interception, which I thought was going to get Chaparral maybe a little momentum, which it kind of did, but another stalled out drive kind of hurt Chaparral. Now, what I think they need to find a way to maybe get the O-line right. I feel like it's not playing at its best potential because I've seen it do better, and I've seen it, and I know it's better with the talent there, but it's just not. What I seen Thursday night, it just was not working. Like, Bryson Coleman was under duress all night long, and he had a struggling performance, 7 of 28 for 91 yards. It was just not a good game overall. Davian Arthur had a nice game, 12 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. He gave it his all, but Bryson Coleman was running the ball too a lot. Yep. He had 19. He ran the ball 19 times for 67 yards. Like, he was under duress, had to run out the pocket a lot. So it's dual
threat ability. Yep.
Dual threat ability. But hey, it's going to get better. It should get better from here on out.
And listen, the district don't get no easier. Still got Eastview and Lake Belton later.
Now they have Leander this week.
This is a must-win for them.
This is I think now. I know we're not doing predictions right now, but I think they can pull that one out. I think this is a winnable game. Now, it is at Leander, but it's a winnable game for them.
Yep. Now, Killeen versus Harker Heights.
Oh, here we go. I'll take this one away to start it off. Were any of you guys there? I believe you were at
I was at Shoemaker.
And I was at the Chapin Georgetown game in front. I was going to go.
It was all split this week.
Well, I'll take it. First off, score 45-15. Heights won that one, obviously. 45-15. And I think what really killed Killeen was turnovers, and it was immediate.
There was like 8 of them.
Man, yep. I heard D'Lo was just
chucking
it up, and it was just not going their way.
Yep. And let me tell you something. Literally the first play of the game.
Pick 6, man.
Yep. First play of the game. D'Lo going to throw it right to the corner. Is picked off, brought back to the crib. 6 points. The first play.
And see, that's been the issue with Killeen all year long. It's not just the turnovers. It's just it feels like when you think something's going to go right, they finally got the quarterback back. Things are going to go well. Something goes wrong, and I just feel so bad because they're a really well-coached team. And I be honest, I had them winning that game. We always agreeing that Killeen might pop somebody and catch them slipping, and I thought it was going to be Heights, but it's not Heights. So, hey, man, credit to Heights. Well-coached team. Yep. Humble looked good, too, but it's just unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunate for Killeen, though.
Yep. And like I said, that's all it is. And it's, again, like you said, Harker Heights looked good, too. Really good in that game. Man. They did their thing, running the ball, passing it. Game. Eventually, they even put Oakley Goins in the game at quarterback. And he's the kicker. Shoot, I was excited for that one.
He's the backup quarterback.
Yeah. You know,
he went in there. He didn't throw any passes. They kept running the ball. And then on one play, I think it was 3rd down and 15 or something. They let him throw one. Did a fake handoff. He threw it deep down the left sideline. Didn't hit anybody. But it was exciting though to see him in there.
Man, that's my guy Oakley Goins. I wish he would have completed the pass. Man.
I think they should have gave him more.
More reps.
They just didn't want to hurt anybody. unnecessarily.
Definitely
don't. They they're trying to keep their guys healthy. They're trying to preserve. They're in the driver's seat right now in district play. They're 2-0. They're trying to keep this train going. They control their destiny. If they run the table, they'll win district if they run the table.
The last 2 games of the district is going to be very tough. They got Temple at home, and they got Shoemaker so they're both going to be in town for both games. Shoemaker's the home team on Halloween. We keep telling you every podcast, this is going to be the game of the year.
It's going to be the game of the year. Get your popcorn ready, kids. Get your popcorn ready.
If you have nothing to do, you're done trick-or-treating already, head over to Leo
Buckley. What? Honestly, this should be your plans, man. This should be your plans.
There's no way. There should be people waiting outside for this game on Halloween.
It should be packed. There should be no parking spaces.
It should be no empty space. It should be no empty spaces in the crowd for either side. This game should be packed. You know what? It should be like you see at some of these NFL and college games. People should be watching it from outside of the stadium. That's how good and packed this needs to be.
But this environment, we haven't had the last crazy environment I was involved and saw was Shoemaker versus Temple. We need to match that and above it. This is first time in a long time. Most likely, the district title will be on the line for that game.
Yeah, exactly. Very well could be a game for the district.
Last year it wasn't as packed, and I was highly disappointed. Like I said, this game should be packed to the brim. It should be loud, crowd environment. It should feel like a playoff game, in-town playoff game.
Because it is like we all agree. Everything could be on the line. District stand for the district and potentially a good playoff spot.
Yep.
Everything will be on the line. So I'm pretty sure that will be a playoff atmosphere, and it's going to be amazing. That game's going to be something, man.
First, they got to win their next 3 games.
Yeah.
They got Killeen, they got Bryan, and
Cove could be a sneaky
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Cove might be sneaky. But.
Got KJ Ziegler over there, really good running back. That's what they really lean against on. Their trenches are pretty decent as well. That game's going to be real interesting. It's at Cove, so Cove has done a really good job at home games. They're packed to the brim over there. Definitely be on the lookout for that game. I still think Shoemaker they have to win out if they want to win district.
Yep. They can't have any slip ups no more. They gotta rally the troops, and I trust Coach Foreman to have to rally these guys back after a tough loss. So it's nothing to be concerned about. Hey, losses happen. It's just how do you bounce back from a loss like that? That's what I look at it as.
I think Shoemaker got a little easier than Heights does, because Heights got to play Shoe and then they got to play Temple after.
Yep.
So
Heights has Bryan this week. They got to travel all the way to Bryan. That's almost 2.5 hour drive on a Friday. So definitely Heights' business trip.
Yeah, could be a little tricky. Listen, I'm not saying Bryan's gonna win. But it's a little tricky, 2.5 hour trip, against Bryan. I mean, they don't look so well so far. It could be a little tricky, but I'm pretty sure.
Any given Friday, at any point, anybody.
On the field. That's why you got to play it on the field. Who cares about analytics and numbers? It's what do you do on the field.
Killeen and Shoemaker this week also, man. Another in rivalry game for Killeen. Can they finally get one is the question. They fell short against Ellison. They fell short against Heights. Can they do it against Shoemaker is the big question, man.
Listen, man, I don't want to say they can't do it. They have a shot because, like you said, Coach Sadler, he's a really good coach, and he coaches his butt off. These guys are going to give it their all. They haven't quit on him, and I don't believe they'll quit. But listen,
Shoemaker's also coming off a loss too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they're going to be desperate. I mean, they got Killeen and then Bryan. So they're going to, Shoemaker's going to be on their
P's and Q's and ready to win.
That could also backfire on them.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
They might run a couple plays, may try doing something a little bit too much, forcing a couple throws, picked off, stuff like that.
Coach Foreman is not known for that. They ran for almost 364 yards last week against Midway.
Yeah.
So Coach Foreman is going to keep that ground because they have, in my opinion, the best running back room in the district.
Yeah,
They got 3 backs. Brandon Brown Jr., the 3-star, Willie Thomas, and the class of 28 sophomore, Josiah Walker. You can argue Midway with their 2 running backs, but Shoemaker got 3 of them.
Well, I will say this. I do agree with you, David, but I could also agree with Giovanni because that sometimes backfires. You always think for example, I know I'm going a little bit off topic, but look at Penn State, what happened against UCLA. You thought they was going to be angry for a win, and look what happened when UCLA did to them. So you just got to look out. You got to see what that sometimes that can backfire. You try to do a little bit too much, try to say, oh yeah, we really want this, but then it might backfire by you doing a little too much.
I trust Coach Foreman to have those guys fired up.
I do too. I trust.
Definitely should be a good environment for Friday, man.
I think it could be a little competitive. I'm not saying it's going to go down to the wire, but
We'll see.
I think he can be a little competitive.
I said that about Harker Heights and Killeen too.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. I will say this though, Giovanni and David. Cove has one of the best running backs, but Killeen was able to shut that down. So if you think they're just going to be able to run for 300 yards like they did against, I want to say, Round Rock and like they did against Midway last week, that's not going to happen. This is one of the best run defenses we've ever seen, and Coach Sattler's going to have these guys playing their tails off because we've seen them contain the run very, very well, and they're very disciplined. So I don't want to just say they're just going to run over them, but I think this will be the best running attack that Killeen will face all year.
Definitely, but the thing that makes Shoemaker so dangerous is that they can beat you through the air too. But the main thing is we have not seen it yet this season at all.
And see that's why I think Giovanni has a point. I think Killeen could probably create a few turnovers off that. Like Coach Foreman, sometimes I feel like he just takes his foot off a little bit off the gas. Sometimes he doesn't want to like air it out a little bit, and that could cause it. Because what if they're not used to airing the ball out this year? It could cause some confusion on certain plays. Confusion between the receivers.
Yep. At the same time, pressure makes diamonds. We might see a 300-yard game from Demani. You never know.
Or we
he has the receivers. Don't forget, they have a 3-star sophomore and Jamal Polite Jr.
Or with D'Lo back, after a struggling game last week, he could go for 330. Yeah. So you never know, especially with him back. I think he gives this offense a boost.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We've seen that. I believe he came back during the. Was it Copper's Cove game?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, he came back.
That's so heartbreaking. They should have won that game, man.
But as soon as he came back, and that's no disrespect to the quarterback that came before him.
He did what he was supposed to.
He did what he was supposed to. He competed. Yeah. He didn't quit. He competed. He did what he was supposed to.
I don't want a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. He stepped up when he needed to, and he did his thing. But when D'Lo came back, you could just see the boost it gave to that offense.
And then I believe in his first game back, he threw the ball right to the receiver that used to play quarterback. I believe so.
Yeah, mentioned that last week.
It was like a 40-yard pass. It was
I feel like that was such a good. That's a dope.
And they need that connection to come back this week because it wasn't there last week.
Their hands will be full, but Shoemaker hands will be full because they need to learn. I think this week they will need to open up the playbook a little bit more for Dale. Because, like we just said, Killeen's run defense is really good. So
listen, I think it's the complete opposite, in my opinion. Shoemaker scored over 30 points in every game they've been in. Can the defense step up and make turnovers when needed to put the game away?
Yep.
Is the big question of the game, in my opinion. Can they step up and get a stop early and let their offense continue to flow like they have been all season? The lowest score points they've scored all year is 31. So... Yes. Definitely can be
not
interesting.
A formula for winning.
Top 5. Collective top 5.
Okay.
All right. So
who wants to say it? Which one do y'all want to say?
You want to start at number 1?
Yeah,
we'll start at number 1. Go ahead, David. You take it away.
At number 1, we have Midway, man. That was a huge win for them over Shoemaker. At number 2, we have Shoemaker, man. That's their first loss of the season. They're at 5-1. People might be able to argue why Temple's below him, but once again, they have the head-to-head win over them so far. And
could be a matchup stylistic.
Yes.
But they did beat them, so.
And then another one I've completely forgot of is Pflugerville Weiss. And my two co-hosts, I kind of have back insight on what their team. That team is loaded over there in Pflugerville. Definitely it's a 5A team, and you can argue if they can compete with the 6A teams. I think they can. Their quarterback over there, he's a sophomore. Those sophomores over there, I'm telling you, this class of 28 class from all over the state and all over the country is something we haven't seen in a minute.
I've seen it in person from Marlon Smith. So,
just seeing it, man. Yeah. And then at number 5, we have Harker Heights, you know.
You have Heights 5, Cole.
And then an honorable mention we could say is Copper's Cove. Copper's Cove has sneakily been 4-1.
Yep.
Really could be undefeated right now.
Really good running back.
Great running back, experienced guys over there. Their trenches are pretty tough, too. I think that's what's really keeping them, making their record look so good and why they're improving. They have a brand-new coaching staff, a lot of collegiate and pro experience on that coaching staff. So they're going to be a well-coached team. Look out for them to maybe beat a Midway, Cove, or Shoe.
Yeah, and one thing you guys notice is that you don't see Chaparral on my list. It's but listen, it happens, and I have to be objective and have some constructive criticism. But another thing, you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, but hey, if you look, we dropped Shoe down to 2 behind Midway, and because I'm pretty sure all 3 of us we favor head to head, and Midway they played a great game against Shoemaker and they won, so we have to give credit where credit's due. So. We have to drop Shoemaker a spot, but I believe Shoemaker will be back at the number 1 spot soon.
We'll see. Depends on how they play against Heights, because
Let's see how they look against Killeen, because we can't just overlook these teams, man.
Exactly, but if you remember, Heights beat Midway too.
That is true. So, and we also,
it's a little hard to make a list when
I believe
like
doesn't Shoemaker play Bryan too? I mean, I'm sure.
Harker Heights also has 2 losses to their belt. 2.
Yep.
So that's
were
what I'm
there
saying.
quality losses? Were they getting against good opponents? Yes, but they shot themselves in the foot.
And that's why I say, listen. I'm not saying they got Bryan this week, right?
Shoemaker?
I mean, no, Heights.
Heights,
Heights,
yeah, they
yes.
got Bryan.
But see, listen. I'm not saying Bryan's going to win, but you can't just jump to the Shoemaker game.
Yeah.
You gotta give credit where credit's due. That's a football team. They're varsity for a reason. They have talent, and this is just the state of Texas, mind you. So there's talent everywhere.
Yep.
You never know. But listen, I mean, I think Heights will win, but let's not just say, oh, it's easy, it's guaranteed they're going to win.
Yep.
The game of the week. This game of the week could literally decide what team you're going to play in the playoffs for the District of Doom. If y'all don't know what the District of Doom is Duncanville, DeSoto, Lancaster, all those teams up north. By the way, Temple at Midway. And I'm going to take over for a little bit here. Temple, Shoemaker are Temple fans for this week, and Heights is Midway fans. This game can literally shake up the standings that quick. Temple has Shoemaker has the head-to-head over Temple, and Harker Heights had the head-to-head over Midway. So, definitely, this game's going to be interesting to watch. It's at Midway too.
That crowd's going to be something.
Right, Temple's going to travel well, bro. So
I remember playing at Midway our freshman year. It was that crowd was something else.
Yep. David, how's that crowd last week?
Listen, I'm surprised. Really, couple fans left during halftime. They stayed through the third quarter. Then towards the end of the fourth quarter, that's when really people start to leave. But the atmosphere wasn't bad. But I think the best something's going to be hard. The only thing I can see that can top Shoemaker versus Midway Temple's atmosphere is the Halloween game. The only thing I can see right now. But this one, the game of the week, definitely could. So, Brandon, what's your predictions?
Oh, we jumping right into it. Wow.
Yes.
This is a really, really tough pick for me. This is a really, really tough pick for me because I think both teams are really, really good. Listen, I don't know who to pick, but dog, it's at Midway. I can't bet against Midway, especially after what I seen last week, because they beat the team who we all thought had a number 1 last week. So, and we all have them at number 1 right now. And listen, I'm not saying Temple's a bad team. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't pick against Midway right now, and that's going to be unfortunate for Shoemaker and other teams in the district standings. But listen, man, I'm taking Midway. I think they're going to win. I'm going to say, I think they win like 42 to like 28. I think they kind of win a little comfortably. I think it's a little close game, but then they pull away kind of late. Like they get a little late touchdown and win by 2 touchdowns.
Gio?
Yeah, I got pretty much the same thing that he said. I got Midway winning this one. I think they're a really good team. But that's going to be a close one, though, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to get pulled away like that. I think it'll be like 40 to 37 or something around there.
That's reasonable. I could see that, too. Listen, hey, no answer is wrong here, outside of like us just saying it's going to be a blowout.
Crazy how the roles are reversed. This is a must-win game for Temple. A
Just like
must-win game
that.
like it was last week. Yep. So you know what? I'm picking Temple. I'm running the table against y'all. I'm going to pick Temple. I got Temple 34-31 in a very close game. I think it's going to come down to what's defense can get the most stops early. Can they block the 4-star from Baylor over there at Temple? Can Midway block them? And can Temple stop the run game?
Yep. Like I said,
that's a big question.
Hey, pressure makes diamonds.
That's what I'm saying. Temple struggled against you in the run, against to stop the run, I thought, a little bit, based off what I've seen. So I think Midway, and plus the crowd that Midway is going to have. I think that's going to affect.
I don't know. Harker Heights, when I got word back, I said the atmosphere up at Harker Heights was a louder group.
Better than Midway's?
Mm-hmm.
Man, look.
Temple's travels. I got Temple, man.
Listen, man. I've personally played at Midway freshman year, dude. That crowd is actually it's. I'm not saying it's crazy electric, but it's something else, man. Especially when like varsity and JV was playing. Oh my gosh, it was something else.
I believe that's all we have. David, you got anything else you want to add?
No, man.
Brandon?
Chaparral needs to beat Leander this week. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
Because if they don't, I'm gonna be nervous.
All right, and y'all going to the games? You going to?
I will be at the Killeen Shoemaker game, man. I'll be to see the crosstown rivalry.
Okay.
I will most likely be at the Shoe and Killeen game as well.
Right. And I'll be calling that one, so we're all 3 of us are gonna be there, and
Definitely, we're gonna be watching Max Preps for this Temple and Midway.
Oh
game.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I will keep my eye out on the Ellison and Belton game. I did think about going to that one since it's in Belton, not far. Yeah. And I will keep my eye out on Shap at Leander.
Oh yeah, somebody has to. But
somebody has to.
I believe that's gonna be a wrap. So thank you for listening to episode 6 of the My 95.1 Sports Zone podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.